Tonight, police are asking for your help tracking down a man they say took off with cash from the Red Mile in Lexington.
We come to find out the dog had actually been shot with a .380 pistol.
A woman is behind bars here in Whitley County after investigators say she shot a homeowner's dog in the middle of a burglary.
Weekend off and running on a wet note. Now we track some windy and wild changes from storms to snowflakes just ahead.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
We are tracking a developing story out of western Kentucky tonight. Good evening. We have just confirmed in the last 15 minutes that state police in Lyon County are on the scene of a deadly plane crash. We're told that 4 people were killed in that crash. Now, police say the plane went down near Kentucky 810 south of the Swanee community. Police say a 7-year-old girl was walking home and claimed she was in that plane crash. She was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police say the pilot and several passengers were among the victims. Right now, multiple fire and rescue units are on the scene. They're still trying to figure out why the plane went down, but they say the pilot reported having engine problems at one point. We continue to track this story, and we'll have more on WKYT News at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning and on WKYTnews.com. But again, that happening in Lyon County in far western Kentucky. It is going to be a wild weekend of weather here in the Bluegrass. We're expecting everything, it seems like. Temperatures in the 60s, rain, even thunderstorms, and that's just tomorrow on Saturday. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey tracking your weekend forecast. And Chris, what a roller coaster.
Yeah, it really is, Sam. But remember, what goes up tomorrow in terms of temperatures will eventually come crashing down as we go into our Sunday. But we have a lot to talk about. Short time to do it in. Let's get after it. Live First Alert Defender late on your Friday evening with rains increasing across the northern half of the state. Much more showery in nature across far southern Kentucky. Nice little complex, though, of some steadier rains along and north of Interstate 64 from Moorhead through Owingsville and just into the northern part of Fayette County. Some of the heavier rain showing up from Owenton, Williamstown into parts of Cynthiana and Sadieville as of now. Those are areas that picked up a little light freezing rain very early this morning. Overall, we show you the big storm system that is gathering steam across the Lone Star State of Texas. It has cold air and it has snow and ice coming in behind it. Initially, we're on the windy and the mild side ahead of the storm as it blows through here tomorrow into tomorrow evening. That is going to give us the threat that includes heavy rain and gusty winds as we go into not only your Saturday afternoon, but especially into Saturday night. And when I come back in a few minutes, Sam, the focus of the forecast will be on the storms and the wind and how both of those will usher in Arctic cold temperatures for the upcoming week.
Thank you, Chris. Well, it was not a typical burglary. A woman is behind bars in Whitley County after investigators say she shot a homeowner's dog while breaking into their house. Dina Baird was arrested this week, and tonight WKYT's Garrett Weimer is tracking the latest on this investigation. He has our top story at 11.
We have a lot of burglaries. As far as shooting an animal,
that isn't quite as common, but that's what landed Dina Baird in jail here in Whitley County. Investigators say in November, Baird and a man named Daniel Myers broke into a home here on Ties Ferry Road, just down the street from Meadow Grove Baptist Church. According to the criminal complaint, they stole electronics, jewelry, and guns. Amazingly, the dog survived its gunshot wound. In fact, Sergeant Mays says at first the homeowners didn't even know their hurt dog had been shot.
The homeowner had said her dog had got beaten up. It was in the cage. They had later on took the dog to the vet to have it checked out about midnight that night. To come to find out, the dog had actually been shot with a .380 pistol.
That pistol, Mays says, was one of the homeowner's guns the suspect stole, turned on a dog helpless in its cage.
I'm assuming it was probably because the dog was barking, drawing attention, so they tried to shut it up.
Mays says the suspects were tracked down just over the border in Tennessee trying to steal a car, now facing charges of burglary and animal cruelty. In Whitley County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And Baird is at the Whitley County Detention Center. It's a story many animal groups say is becoming more common. A Pulaski County woman says someone stole her service dog from her backyard in the Iron Gate subdivision. And animal groups say this is not the first time this has happened. Group members say thieves are stealing these dogs to sell or use for breeding purposes.
Is it because people want to get good dogs and sell them before Christmas to make money?
Fortunately, this story has a happy ending thanks to our reporter down there, Phil Pendleton. Shortly after he spoke with the owner this afternoon, he says he saw a border collie running loose near her home. Turns out it was the missing dog. The owner took Little Jay to be checked out. He is okay. A fire causing some minor damage to a Lexington home tonight. This happened at a home on Bryan Avenue about 9 o'clock tonight. Firefighters telling us some electrical wiring sparked the fire in the attic. No one was injured in the fire, but the family will stay with friends tonight. Police in Lexington need your help tracking down a man they say stole cash from the Red Mile. Police say it happened just after 6 o'clock. We're told a man was loitering around the building, and when a clerk inside the building turned around, the thief reached through the window and grabbed some cash. Police describe the suspect as about 6 feet tall, wearing a blue hoodie and a blue jacket. They say he is also wearing a backpack. They say the goal is to keep drivers safe on the roads and decrease the number of lives lost in deadly crashes. Kentucky State Police say they dealt with nearly a dozen deaths over the holiday, and now they're looking ahead to the new year. WKYT's Jarek Insko is at the live desk now with a look at their plan to increase enforcement in 2015. Jerica?
Sam, that's right. Basically, state police want less Kentucky families ringing in the new year with tears. Now, more people on the roads during the holidays and cheaper gas prices are two things that police say contribute to the recent crash count. Deadly accidents like Thursday nights in Nicholasville along US 27.
The car is pretty much up underneath the trailer.
And last week's wreck in Somerset that left 2 dead.
My sister calls me and tells me that my fiance had died.
Those sad scenes are what Kentucky State Police are working to have less of in 2015. But troopers say it starts with drivers.
About half of the crashes that we have seen reported in 2014, there was some sort of driver distraction involved.
Taking an active part in decreasing that number. That's why you might see more of them on the roadways.
If we're out there slowing the vehicles down, if we're out there making sure that the passengers in the vehicles are restrained, they're less likely to be involved in a fatal collision.
It's part of their New Year's resolution to cut down on fatalities on Kentucky roads.
So we believe if we can get people to slow down, if we can reduce the number of people that are driving impaired and make sure that everyone in the vehicle is wearing their seat belts, we believe that the fatal numbers will be reduced in 2015.
It's all so that we have less Kentuckians with broken hearts.
I miss him really bad.
After losing loved ones on the sides of roads. In 2014, they went 80 days without a fatality on Kentucky roads. State police hope to increase that number of days this year. At the live desk, Jerica Insko, back to you.
Jerica, thank you. State police say drivers and passengers are 4 to 5 times more likely to be killed in a crash if they're not wearing their seatbelts. A Clark County family is mourning the loss of their son after he died from meningitis earlier this week. Cole Hahn was a sophomore at George Rogers High School in Winchester. Friends and family describe him as a straight-A student who had no trouble making people laugh. Cole lost his battle with meningitis earlier this week. We're told he did not have a contagious form of meningitis. Tonight, those who knew him shared their memories of Cole and the wonderful times they had shared with him.
He knew how to live life, and if there's anything that anybody can take from this, I hope that they will live life to its fullest, because we don't know when our time is.
In Clark County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Cole Hahn's family has started a GoFundMe account to help with medical and funeral expenses. If you want to help out and donate to the family, just visit WKYT.com for a link to that page. He is a country legend. Tonight, fans mourning the loss of one of the longest-running members of the Grand Ole Opry. More on that coming up. President Obama making good on a promise to respond to North Korea over the Sony cyber attack. Today, the president signed an executive order to set up sanctions against the North Korean government. CBS's Bagad Shaban has more.
The White House imposed new sanctions against 3 North Korean organizations, including the intelligence agency and the agency that sells weapons to other countries. The sanctions also target 10 individuals with ties to those institutions, though senior White House officials say they are not directly responsible for a crippling cyber attack against Sony Pictures. 2 weeks ago, President Obama warned the U.S. would retaliate.
We'll respond in a place and time and manner that we choose.
Last month, hackers threatening violence against moviegoers disrupted the release of Sony's controversial comedy, The Interview.
We're going to North Korea!
The film depicts an assassination of North Korea's leader. Sony canceled its nationwide release, but the movie came out digitally and in select theaters on Christmas Day.
The cyber attack also uncovered embarrassing emails between producers and Sony executives and revealed the vulnerability of Sony's network.
The FBI is still investigating the cyber attack against Sony, but so far has blamed North Korea. The U.S. already had sanctions in place against the communist country. The White House says this is just the first phase of its response. Bigat Shaban, CBS News, Culver City, California.
Some cybersecurity experts have questioned whether North Korea is responsible, but the Obama administration has said those experts do not have access to highly classified intelligence. North Korea has denied any involvement in the cyber attack. Country music fans are saying goodbye to a legend tonight. Little Jimmy Dickens died today. According to a statement from the Grand Ole Opry's website, Dickens died today from cardiac arrest days after suffering a stroke. Dickens joined the Grand Ole Opry all the way back in 1948 and was the Opry's longest-running member, a much-loved person. He last performed at the Opry just late last month. Little Jimmy Dickens was 94 years old.